Now, you had the advantage, of course, of having started your own podcast, right? And learning how to do this. So you were pretty well in a really good position to be able to do it at Mathison. What would be your advice, say, for a B2B brand that didn't happen to have somebody like you that had that experience, but they want to get into podcasting? What would be your advice to them?
I would say start small and measure each inch, each little step. I would say we already have microphones in our pockets every single day. So I think just record something on your phone or a conversation on your phone. And then also I would recommend utilizing a source, a platform like Acast to distribute your podcast. And from there, you can just start to see everything rise from there. Of course, nobody may listen on the first episode. Then the next episode, you get 2 listens, and it's one might be your mom. And then the next episode, just continue to go. And I think there is a stat out there that states that most 80% of podcasts don't make it past the 20th episode. And so I think that's something to consider and keep in mind, and just keep going and record as much as you can when you can.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. I think that's exactly right. You got to be patient. You got to keep going. And I think you have to, even if it's not your full-time job,
Right.
understand that it's an investment of time, maybe also an investment of some money, right? But it's like most things, it's going to maybe kind of suck at first, or you're going to feel a little lost at sea. But then if you stick with it, and the more you do it, and maybe you get some guidance from the outside, stick with it. Give it at least 25, 30, maybe even as many as 50 episodes to really give it a chance. And that might seem like a lot, but that's really what it takes.
Yeah, I think once you get to episode 50, you're a lifer, in my opinion. You're a podcaster, and even if you might slow down, just keep going, because in my opinion, if your great grandkids can listen to your voice years after you're gone, I think that's another added bonus too.
We have no idea what things will look like that far down the line, but
Right.
but right, the stuff, these digital products that we're creating will last as long as there's an internet.
Exactly.
You know? It's really pretty amazing.
Yeah, I did have one more thing to add too, and that's have your own success metric. Like, even if it's not downloads, maybe, hey, you like hearing your voice a little bit more, or when you got a new microphone, oh my gosh, my audio is a little bit better, or let me make sure my background is nicer. I think every incremental update is gonna add to the experience that your audience is gonna hear and see, and I think ultimately they'll appreciate it. I think everybody loves a good glow up, and I think that's something to consider too.
That's a great point. And I'll just add one more thing too, that there are different ways to measure the success and value of the podcast. One is just the raw audience numbers. Keep in mind that you don't know exactly who's listening at any given time. It could be your mom or not. Maybe your mom isn't into it and she stopped listening. Who knows? But but you do know who you're talking to on the show, right? And as you said, you get to have some really good conversations with some high level people. There's a lot of value in that. And that's another way to think about the value. And I would argue maybe even the primary way. Concentrate on the conversations that you're able to have with people that you have strategically chosen to speak to because they can help you grow your business in some way.